I love you. I can't remember me saying that to my father.
I don't know why I struggled to answer this question. I can't remember.
Just cut that bit out.
There's an iPad next to you. I want you to open it up and watch one of the scenes.
And instead, you brought me to this dusty old boxing gym. For what? You made me feel small and weak, and you don't care all about how we feel. Max, listen. It comes from here and here.
Can I ask why you're laughing?
Because I saw my little face on the camera. It's actually acknowledged why my friends call me small.
What do you think happened there?
I think it's an internal monologue from the character who was playing the younger, and it was the conflict between what he wanted to say and what was actually happening in reality.
You want to say this thing to your dad, but then you play it out in your head, and then when it comes to it, you can't actually say it.
I ain't getting into that ring.
Respect, son. Dion! Do I make myself clear?
I think I agree with both characters in the scene. I think there's a part to play as a father. I'm also seeing like the Gen Z people lose maybe structure in their life and lose focus and lose accountability. And I guess the father's trying to instill that sense of strictness and hardness.
And he's projecting his own fears onto his son because of what he had to face through.
In a way, if I was him, I would feel the same way, that my dad's pushing me into this mode where I should be fighting back. But then if I fight back, again, like he said, not in the scene, but in the movie.
If I won that fight, I'd be the one in cuffs.
My dad's not been in my life for a long part of it. I resented him for, of course, leaving my life and leaving my mother. But I've kind of matured past that kind of resentment stage.
I think we're close, but there is a little bit I'm a bit afraid of him at times. Discipline-wise, I have to respect him.
I'd say the relationship between me and my dad's really good. I don't know whether it's because I'm his daughter. I don't know, my dad, I'm his little princess.
So I don't have a relationship with my dad. My parents divorced when I was 12, and I'm 20 now, so I haven't seen him since I was 13.
I've got a wonderful relationship with my father, I'd say, on a whole. And I guess it kind of changes when you're growing up from adolescence into adult phase.
He's very artistic and loving, but then sometimes he can be annoying and very frustrated easily.
I think something I would have wanted to say was why he thought it was okay not to reach out after he left, and why he didn't feel the need to try and build communication with me and my siblings.
I'm Ghanaian, from Ghanaian heritage, so my father brought me up in quite a strict manner. I guess as I'm growing up now, we're able to see each other as a bit more friendly and have a bit more adult chats as I'm developing into a man myself.
He doesn't understand that it's a different time that we're in, and he wants to raise me the way he was raised in some way.
He has his walls up, so he's maybe not put his walls down for certain conversations yet.
When you've got a daughter there who's an emotional person, because anyways, and then he can just be there more, whereas with the son now, or my brother, he'll be more kind of hard on him.
He feels a way about a lot of things. If something's right, he's gonna say it. If something's wrong, he's gonna say it. If he's happy about something, he might not say it, but if he's sad about something, you'll probably know about it too.
People think a lack of a father in a household would mean you're overcompensating, whereas I just withdraw. I tend not to trust people in relationships because I just have a feeling that they're just going to leave.
I think a time that my dad expressed extreme emotions would be when his older sister died of cancer, and it was the first time I'd ever seen him cry. I think he doesn't want us to see him cry because he might feel weak if we see him cry. He wants to be a sort of a disciplinary figure to us.
Men don't really share their feelings that much, but I know that when you talk to a man about your feelings, you would lie to them and say you're okay when you're really not.
The first time I saw him cry, I think we were leaving a family holiday in Ghana, and I think he was staying a little bit longer, so we were going back. And I wasn't like, I think he was going to miss us, we were going back, but then he just cried. And we were just there as a family, we were in silence, and my dad cried. And that was like one of the first, I will never forget that. That was one of the first times we were in the house, and he just cried. And I didn't necessarily know what to do. So my mom was just like, afterwards, she really explained, she's like, no, like, sometimes your dad can get upset, sometimes he's upset with you and your brother when you're not listening and stuff, but he really, really, really cares and he loves you.
Weakness isn't something that's talked about in terms of men, or even men in terms of in my life. I haven't heard men talk about that, and it's not a conversation that's had. So I feel like he's sort of just trying to pass on to his son everything that he's learned in his life, and sort of, you know, taking on his own challenges instead of relying on someone else.
In our cultures, vulnerability and sensitivity is seen as a weakness. I'm not afraid to be vulnerable, and I've kind of learned that over experiences as well.
But before you were?
Yeah, before I had that kind of projection that my dad had, so like he wouldn't tell me stuff, why would I tell anyone else stuff?
I love you. I can't remember me saying that to my father, and I don't know if that's like it's like something around masculinity which we're not comfortable around saying particular phrases to my father or my mother, to be honest. But I'm just like, maybe that's something that I just want to be able to say to my father, but I haven't quite said it yet, and I'm not sure why.
I feel like if he was to see this, I would want him to hear my point of view of how I think I would like things to go down, because it would be nice for him to know that I don't need his closure or anything from him, and that I've done pretty well thanks to my mum, so I would like him to know that.
Yeah. There's one thing I would ask him is like to just stop being so good at masking pain all the time.
I wish he was there for me in the young ages a lot more.
I would send it to him personally. So I said, when he's ready, we'll have that conversation. It might be about time.